What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars. This story is called, "This is a bit of a long story." I have a neighbor named Bob who is the biggest choosing beggar douchebag I have ever run into. Bob is a wheeler and dealer, a haggler, a con man, always looking for the best deal. If Bob buys or sells something, he has to feel like he got the upper hand or he won't do the deal. Then, to add insult to injury of the deal you made with him, he runs his mouth about how dumb the other person was and how smart he is. He is my neighbor, and while I don't like Bob, he would totally run into your burning house to save your kids, even if it was only to ask for a settlement afterward for pain and suffering. You can't choose your neighbors. One time, Bob bought 3 lawnmowers at an estate sale for $10 each, then could not get them to run and offered to sell me one for $25. I knew how to fix it, so I bought it. Fixed it, then he came back wanting more money since I got it running. Well, I told him to suck it. He then demanded I help him fix the other 2 for free. It's pathological. He has to come out on top or his bruised ego would be crushed. His penis would cease to get hard and his wife would leave him, or something like that. So I showed them how to fix them, and he turned around and sold them both for $50 each, then still complained that I owed him $25. He's the kind of guy that when you both agree to a price, if it is too fast, he wants to change it after you agree. So, the choosing beggar that pushed me over the top and why he has a restraining order against me is a little longer. I was managing a project where we bought 20 cases, or 2,000 lamps, of light bulbs that the owner decided were the wrong color, and was good with paying for 20 more cases in the right color. The lamps I bought were 40-watt LED warm dim in standard base, or E26. Warm dim is a cool feature. The lamp dims from 3000 Kelvin to 2200 Kelvin, and the lamp really mimics the old incandescent lamps well. These lights look fantastic in residential homes. They were non-returnable, and they were going in the trash, so I took them home with the consent of my boss. The day I roll up with 20 cases of lamps, Bob came over, beer in hand, to find out what I was up to, and I tell him the whole story. His eyes just glass over and asks if he can have some too. I give him a case, and he takes it without even saying thank you or helping me to unload my truck into the garage. He is an ass. I'm used to it, so I just ignore him as he walks off with a case of lamp, probably to go brag to someone about how dumb I am for giving it away for free. Sure enough, over the next few days, various neighbors come knocking, wanting their free lamps too, and I pass out a few small boxes of 10 to their disappointment. Then someone on Facebook starts a post for the neighborhood about me passing out free lamps, and before this gets out of hand, I announce they are $1 each, come get all you want. Nobody comes. I still have 18 cases and wonder if I can sell them on eBay. Sure enough, there are lamps on eBay and even a case of the exact ones I am wanting to sell. Then I look closer, and the box in the picture has a job number writing in Sharpie on the side in my handwriting. It was the case I gave Bob, and he was trying to sell it on eBay. So I contacted the seller and asked if he had any more, that the price was fine but I really needed 10 cases. The next day, my garage door is open and I am mowing the grass, and I look up, and Bob is in the garage grabbing cases of lamps. After stopping what I'm doing, I ask Bob what he is doing, and he just looks up as if it's the most normal thing ever and says he's going to help me out and take a few of these cases off my hands for me. The guy is a scammer and a liar, but damn, that was bold. I keep calm and say that sounds great, but the lamps are $1 each, which is what I put on Facebook. The offer on eBay was $2.50 each, and in retail, these go for around $3.50 each, for some context. Bob is indignant that I would dare to charge him for the lamps. The very guy who would take them for nothing, sell them for a profit, then brag to anyone who would listen about how dumb I was, is mad at me for it? He is pissed and stomps off, calling me a little cooter. This was when I stopped taking any of his behavior for granted. Bob comes back the next day and he tries me again. Only the price is $1.25 on principle, and I got to watch all the veins in his face pop out and his skin turn red. This goes on for a week as I prod him on eBay for a delivery time. The problem with Bob is that he just can't pay the asking price for anything, no matter what, even if it means spoiling the eBay deal. He really would cut off his own nose to spite his own face. We settle for the original $1 lamp, and I sold Bob $1,000 worth of lamps. He demanded I deliver the lamps to his garage as part of the deal. No biggie, I was having fun anyway. Then I watch as he tells the buyer, me, on eBay that he has the lamps but there is a shipping and handling fee and his cost has gone up. I horse traded with him on eBay for days. It was great fun. Then I just walked away. About 3 weeks later, Bob comes back and wants to know if I would take the lamps back. I just smile and say, I have plenty of lamps, and he is really agitated. After a couple of weeks, I just can't leave it alone. It was too much fun. So I contact Bob on eBay and tell him a sob story about my project, being out of money, and ask if he will cover shipping and handling. We go back and forth a few times, then he asks for my address for a shipping quote. So I send him my address. This is when Bob figures out I got him. He is livid, comes to my house yelling and screaming, saying he is going to sue me, and I just smile and tell him to step off. Bob can't take being bested, so he calls my employer and tells them I am stealing light bulbs. He has pictures and proof and is willing to testify in court, etc., etc. My boss got a great laugh out of it. Then boss crossed the property line, got in my face, and started screaming with spittle and everything in my own damn driveway. This little cooter sent him home, and now I have a restraining order. Yeah, and I still have 8 cases of lamps I can't seem to get rid of. I would have let him sell all 20 cases for a small cut of the proceeds, but that was not good enough for Bob. It's never about the money with that guy. He has to feel like he screwed you or he is not interested. Alright, this next story is called Fantastic Freelance Designers and How Not to Hire Them. Hello, it's your boy, the frustrated freelancer with a story just for you. Kind of a serious topic for me, but I will try my best to make it at least a little entertaining to read and maybe informative as well for people who seem to be a little new to these kinds of services. So strap in, and if you get dizzy and need help, the safe word is white chocolate brownies are better and should be called Whiteys. I got one word for you. Hell no. A few years ago, I was told a friend of someone in a group chat had a nice job for a freelancer with a little experience in video editing. Perfect. I did the occasional meme crap post video opening animation for videos and things like that, was actually thinking about getting more experience in it, so why not? Let's text the guy, ask what's up. What was up was that the guy had a YouTube channel that he wanted to make money with an indie and retro music theme, and the old freelancer just vanished and let him down. Sent me the link to check it out. Sweet. I spend a lot of time on YouTube and feel very familiar with channel branding, and it was a promise of a stable job that could help me a lot in college. So overall, pretty sweet gig, right? No. First thing that strikes me dead in the heart is that the channel has 94 subscribers, and the guy's blurry face on the profile pic, then the 9 minutes unedited footage of him walking around a street concert with a handheld, shaky camera and the sound of wind drowning most of what he was trying to speak, and about 10 to 14 videos like this. The most recent one being about ways in which people eat their ramen noodles. Now, being the passionate one in the family, I admire a good underdog who has a big dream story. So I spend a day studying up to come up with my rates and a good strategy to make the channel grow, deleting the old videos, building a brand, and video editing format. All the nice things, even contacted my mentor to ask her about work rates and the kind of hardware I would need. So armed with all the knowledge and ready to go, I text the guy about everything we needed to do to make the channel big, my video rates, and a special price to also throw in the branding and visual assets the video could use, while trying as delicately as I could to say that the old format was not very professional. And in not very professional, I mean the default transitions of Windows Movie Maker from the XP era. The guy spends the next 40 minutes backtracking, saying how he thought it was absurd and that he didn't think it was this expensive, that what he needed was just basic editing so the channel would grow first, and then he could do it, that the last freelancer asked for less than half of what I was asking, and this is just the worst part for me, was actually thinking I would go to his house to edit the videos right next to him, without any mention of paying for my transport. So much for the dream of actually being able to afford to eat those delicious chocolate bonbons in college now, or get my beautiful, beautiful new games, pay for the internet at home, or more of those delightful things people do when they have money. It's a lovely thought, but not worth being paid about 20% of what the lowest video editing rates are, but having a creepy 50-year-old guy breathing down my neck while I work. I became a freelancer so I could work on what I love and be in my pajamas all day, damn it. but I don't give up that easily. This isn't mama's first rodeo, so I try to reason with the guy, say that my rates were the standard for any decent editor, that the last one did a pretty subpar job, and showed what I can do, while making it pretty clear that I would charge extra to work on location. A good trick when you don't want to deal with a certain customer demand without saying no is charging an unreasonable amount extra for it so they give up. Quick tip for all you freelancers out there. But alas, the guy insisted on having me around in his house alone, which was unbelievably creepy and a sign that it was one of those people who won't let you do the job you screwed yourself over in college for 6 years to learn. But also that my rates were made up and unreasonable, so that boat sank pretty quickly after that. A few days later, I told the entire story to my teacher, who told me I was right, and by taking the job, I would not only work way more than I got for it, but would also undervalue the work of all other professionals in my career. So the lesson I got from that time is, people have a hard time trying to perceive value on services that are intangible in some way. And you can't have success and then invest in your business. It doesn't work that way. So, my fellow freelancers, study hard and never undercut your own hard work's value, because people are sure as hell not going to value it for you. Cheers. Little edit right here at the end. People seem to be curious about the numbers, and I kinda refrain from using them because my currency is different than the usual dollar you see here, but quick calculations later, and the offer was, my usual rate for the kind of editing you wanted, plus the time, was to be about $20 to $30 per video, and I offered to throw in the entire branding of the channel, which includes banner, profile pic, opening and transitions, little vignettes for the special segments for about $100, which was a lot more work than just plain editing, and the guy had $3 per video in mind, not even accounting for the money I would have to spend with the bus to go to his house every week, which was the generous offer my predecessor got. Now I get why he left. Poor soul. This story's called, Am I the Beggar in this scenario? Some background. I work in a training hospital, and we have students that rotate through every 9 months. Last year, there was a student, who we will call Jessica, and we had a few things in common and got along good with each other. She had a lot of personal issues with her boyfriend, and I was a listening ear and helped give her advice on how to handle certain aspects of her issues. Not only that, but she was being unfairly treated by our staff compared to other students because she wasn't from the college that most of our staff graduated from. I gave her a lot of personal and professional advice, and stuck up for her when I personally witnessed her being picked on. As I said, we got along well and had some things in common. She liked to make perler bead designs in her free time that were designed on our common interests. She showed me some of her designs that she made, and I thought they were really well done and told her so. About a month before she graduates, she approaches me and gives me a heartfelt thank you for all the help and advice I've given her throughout her internship, and tells me that she would love to make me a perler bead design since she noted my interest in her work. I happily accepted her offer and tell her a design that I had off the top of my head, thinking it would maybe only take her a couple of hours to make. Turns out, I incorrectly assumed, and she said it would take a long time. I pick a significantly smaller design and offered to at least pay for the materials since I knew she was a poor college student, which she also happily agreed to. Just a note, this design was based on an Etsy design that I sent her a link to. A few days prior to her graduation, she sends me a text telling me that she just made it and would bring it the following day. I then asked her how much she would like for it since I offered to at least pay for the materials, and she told me it was $40, which completely caught me off guard because the design I gave to her was an exact copy of an Etsy design that was being sold for $15, which these prices include materials and labor. I told her that I was under the impression that this was a gift, which is why I offered to at least pay for the materials. She then tells me she's a poor college student. She had to go buy a couple of different colors of beads, and it took her 4 hours to make. I told her that I would give her $20 for it since I could have easily just bought it off of Etsy for $15, which she responds with, "Fine." I told a few of my coworkers what happened, and they told me I was being a choosing beggar, and I should have paid her the $40 that she requested because she's a poor college student and spent so much time on it. She gave me a heartfelt thank you for the advice I had given her and for standing up for her when no one else would, and followed this all up by telling me she wanted to make one for me, not sell me one for almost triple the price I could buy one for. Am I the beggar here? No, I've seen a lot of beggars in my time, and let me just say, I love hot dogs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.